Okay, so when you were working with Ann today, one of the questions I had is like when you linked the objective of the lesson to the IEP goal, why was it 60% accuracy and she's in the 11th grade?
Um,
And we were just working up to $1.
Well, this is something that Anne has worked on for a long time. It's a skill that has been visited with her a lot. So I don't know that she's going to be able to get 80 or 90 or 100% accuracy. So we wanted to make it obtainable for her. The last time that I worked with her with the coins, we were counting dimes, and she was able to count out 90 or 9 dimes to 90, but had trouble transferring from 90 to 100. So I knew that we needed from 1 to 100, so I chose up to 99 cents.
Well, I noticed that you have several different ways of showing the skill set here with you today, like the hundreds chart. You have this that's kind of more a receptive type skill of just identifying or pointing and identifying. You've got the real coins and then your coinulator. So I assume that you're trying various means to get her to the skill to stick, for lack of a better term.
Right. We're using hands-on manipulatives, a reference chart for her, like I said, the calculator or coinulator, to give her another avenue for counting coins, because it's such an important life skill that she's really going to need to be able to do.
Well, and I noticed too when you were working with her that when you got past the guided practice and you got to the assessment piece, and she was having difficulty here, that you allowed her to use the regular coins.
Because as we were practicing, we were doing our guided practice, so we were moving the coins and counting them. On here, where it's on just a piece of paper, you can kind of see that. She was having trouble counting, so what I did is just place the correct coins on the thing, and then on the assessment, and she was able to do it easier with that, with the hands-on.
Anne is very verbal and a little bit shy, and sometimes, she gets nervous. I think she might have been a little nervous with me being here.
And the video, getting ready for it.
Yeah, but you did really well calming her and praising her, and every time that, you gave her constructive feedback, but you also gave her a lot of positive feedback as she was going through the skills. And I noticed as the lesson went along, I kind of faded more into the background, and she was able
it's
to
definitely a
focus
skill
more on
she
me.
wants to have. She likes to shop. She wants to buy
Yes, she
stuff,
does.
and so I think that it's something that she will be able to obtain at some point. But it's a skill she likes and she wants to do. So.
I guess what I thought with her being in the 11th grade too, I want you to speak to the use of the coinulator, because my first instinct was, why are you? It made me kind of feel like you're giving up on her being able to do it independently, and she's in 11th grade and using this. But what do you think the benefit of this is?
I think it's just another tool to include in this. It's not something that she's going to always be able to use and have with her, but it gives a different perspective or a different way of counting the coins, and hopefully that'll stick with her better than the other ways that we've tried.
And I noticed that, like, it will tell you, how much each is worth. And then I noticed that as she got more comfortable, she could do, like, for example, I don't know if you can see it, this penny here, and if she was having trouble here, she could just do it 4 times. And at
Just
first
quickly.
she was just doing, but then the more practice that she had, she was doing it much more quickly, and the skill was becoming more automatized, I would say.
Right. And that's kind of where the hundreds chart goes into, because she knows this is a penny's worth 1, and instead of touching the coinulator each time, hopefully she'll start counting in her head 1, 2, 3, 4. As the
Well, and I
as
thought
she
you did a
progresses.
nice job of technology with this, but you also, QR reader is something that, you can use throughout your life and all of retail
Right.
business. And I thought that was a nice touch. And it would be really neat if we could create an app that did something like the coinulator
Yeah, that would
for
be
them
cool.
when they're out. But that's
So
just a
what
really
she
neat
did,
touch.
she counted the coins and then used the QR code to check her answer.
So,
And she enjoyed that. Gave her some independence where she wasn't relying so much on me, and she, it kept her engaged.
Yes, and I think that is a good point, is that this task, after you taught the skill, can be much more independent. And if you were doing this in a small group, while you were going around working with the others, they can check their own work, and I think that's
Right.
a nice touch too.
Yeah.
And one question I was going to ask you is, she's in 11th grade, and the child that we worked with on a different day was, in intermediate. So what differences do you see in an intermediate child who's nonverbal and an 11th grade child who's a little more verbal but still, has significant cognitive and academic deficits?
Yes. With Anne, after, talking with her parents and her teacher, we want her to be as independent as possible. We want to give her those skills that throughout her daily life she's going to use. Counting coins, she needs to be able to do that. Writing sentences, asking and answering questions, giving out information about herself. Those functional skills that will make her more independent.
Well, I really like the thought that you put into the lesson and all the different visuals you
Thank you.
have. Nice job.